Everybody, is Dee again. I have a short video, but bear with me. It's going to be kind of noisy because I'm trying to make a point here. Earlier today, my daughter and I were driving about. We were exercising and everything, and we kept passing by a bunch of communities that were primarily Hispanically owned or owned by Asians. And I thought, wow, why is that? And I pointed out to my daughter, it's that way because they have unified. They've unified together. They've unified their money. They've unified in every way, shape, or form. And I'm going to point around and let you see that all of these businesses, even from way down the block here, it's like 2 blocks down, is primarily owned by Asians and Hispanics. Now, or Latin people, I should be politically correct. The point that I'm making is they were able to do that, as I said before, because they are organized and they unified. There is not one black-owned store from 2 blocks, and this is very large blocks, 2 blocks. When I first moved here to Riverside, this whole area was probably predominantly white-owned. There was, a huge shopping center full of white-owned businesses. Now, on this same block, there are 2 super large Latin-owned grocery stores, like full-on grocery stores. I'm not talking about fruit stand. I'm talking about a gigantic store, like a regular store. 2 of them on the same block, and both of those stores are completely full with people shopping. Why? Because they shop with each other. They get it. And you know what? I'm not mad, because if you go in any one of those stores, you're not going to see anybody else but their own working in the stores. You're just not going to. And you know what? That's what they can do because they have unified, and they can say, I don't want to hire you. I'm going to hire my own. That's the way it's supposed to work. So the point of this video is, if we being black people unify and put our money together, we can do this too. It's not hard. We just have to be loyal to each other and do what we need to do to bring our community up where it's supposed to be. All right, so I hope that I was informational and shed some light on the situation. So have a great evening.
All right, we're in the second hour. This is Donovan Sadiq and my compadre, the infamous Demetra Kaye from the Demetra Kaye Show.
Yeah.
Great first hour. I really enjoyed it. Great show on Sunday. Mm-hmm. You're always doing great things. Your message is getting out there. We are now in syndication, which is really, really good. You're going to get your show out there. Let me ask you this, just real quick. Mm-hmm. What is the premise of your show and what's it about? Because a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people hate on your show for the simple fact that you keep talking black unity, community, black awareness, and things like that. So why, what?
Well, in a nutshell, you just hit the nail on the head. That's what it's about. It's about, and see, and this is what I like for anybody who is not black. I always welcome everybody to listen. I often have people who are not black come in and chime in on the show and stuff like that. This is not about being against anybody who is not black. Mm-hmm. This is about promoting, this being my show, about promoting blackness and self-love, black unity, group economics, just the whole nine that every other race does unapologetically, and even they do it without even thinking about it.
Right.
And so I'm just trying to spur a conversation and come up with solutions that can help make us better. Plain and simple. So it's not, a lot of times people take offense to that, but it's not even with me. It's with anything that's black, that's pro-black. People deem it to be anti-white.
Right.
And that's not what it is. Right.
So we can find your show on Sundays.
Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Facebook. Demetra Kaye.
And it's live.
It's live. So if you want to ask me questions, you can.
Okay, so but when it's live, basically it's you and the raw, and then we can catch you on your YouTube page if you miss it, and parts of it are recorded and everything like that. So that's good too. So I just kind of want to give the distinction, because sometimes people think because you're on Loving the Skin I'm In, and some of the things that you say on the show is paramilitary or
anti-white. Hey everybody, this is Dee with So What Am I Saying in 30 Seconds or Less? Oftentimes we plant seeds, but we don't see them grow. All we seem to see are weeds and discouragement and the struggle. But I tell you what, if you continue watering those seeds and doing the things conducive to making those seeds grow, you will get what you want. Those seeds will eventually turn into the things that you originally planted in the first place. All right? Peace. let's call it spade a spade. Anti-white is not anti-white. And, you know, if I was a white person, I would be listening, you know, to see if I can learn something about the black community opposed to the negative stereotypes that they think is black people.
Okay.
You know, so that's what I would be doing. And listen, and most people will tell you, yes, it does sound like my conversation is unfriendly. I'm just a passionate person. So, you know, even when me and you're having discussion away from here, I speak like this all the time.
Right.
I'm not one of those lazy, oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, or apologetic. Like, hey, I'm not going to be apologetic for being who I am. Or
I mean, and a few of your guests or people that you do shows with have met me. We when you first started out with your podcast, we all sat on a panel. Yeah. And we're talking about different things in the city and just in general. And a couple of them asked me a question, like I won't say his name, but I had on my I Sit with Kaepernick shirt one day, and I came over. Yeah. And he was like, well, why do you support that? And you support that? And to me, I kind of thought for a second, I think he really wants me to explain myself to him. And he actually wanted me to be apologetic about it. I said, because I sit with Kaepernick because what he's doing is right. He's speaking out against the injustice that black people go through and police brutality. What's wrong with that? In addition to the national anthem not being all that you think it's cracked up to be.
So wait. So you're saying that the Kaepernick thing isn't about the national anthem? No. It's about police brutality?
Yeah.
What?
Believe it or not. Don't let Trump let you believe the hype.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that think it's the other. It's
well, that's just what they do. When I say they, this is when I am talking about white people. Some, not all. That's what they do. They'll hijack a narrative and then try to turn it around and make themselves the victim. Listen, I don't give a damn one way or the other about the national anthem. And I've rarely even, I know you've been a military man, so that might kind of... Yeah, I might jump you right now. Yeah, but you know, I know how to fight too, so... and I don't want to be totally disrespectful, say I don't give a damn about the flag, but we know that the flag has never represented black people.
True, ever. And we never had a national anthem until 1938, I believe it was.
Yeah, and then even when the national anthem, well, I think it was written before then, Francis Key.
Yeah.
So even before then, when Francis Key wrote it, he wrote it because he's pissed off that slaves were not going to be slaves anymore.
Yeah, you notice that they never play the third
or the second
or third part of the national anthem. Why is that?
Well, because he was basically saying, I hope you niggers die. Right. That's pretty much what he was saying. Okay. And so you're mad at us, black people, because we don't want to pay homage to that? Why are you mad? I mean, like, people have drawn a correlation and saying, would you, if they had a song talking bad about Jewish people, would you expect for them to like it? But that's how it is, though. Yeah. They expect for black people, just get over it.
Get over it.
This is, you know, if you don't want to be here, go back. Well, I would express the same thing to you. You're not native to this land either. Right. So take your ass back where you're right.
And leave the money and the riches
with
it. And things with it. You know, we are doing Love in the Skin I'm in, and people have, said great things about the show and where we're going. You know, my mom loves the show because she says she gets a nice, good laugh out of it because it's crazy. It's... And I'm going to give a disclaimer. My mom does not know where I get my chauvinistic leanings because she didn't raise me that way. However, I am a man, so I will not defend women's issues. Like I said, I'm not into the abortion thing. I don't want to talk about that.
So you're not a feminist.
I'm not a feminist.
Doesn't that just... Hey, listen, I don't care if people get mad. I'm going to start having your attitude. F you! No, just
hey.
I just don't understand a man who's a feminist.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Because I hear men say that they're feminists.
Yeah, no,
I'm not a feminist.
No, I'm a man, so I will never be a feminist.
And if you're not a feminist, there's something wrong with you.
Then there's something wrong with
you. You don't like women.
Because if you want to be free, you have to be willing to fight for it yourself. You can't depend on somebody else to pick up your issue, which is a problem in our community, because we sit here and we wait for somebody, and you say it all the time, for somebody to save us. And that's not always, and that's never going to happen. We've got to save ourselves.
Well, just because we've been conditioned to have that happen, have people save us, whether it's, and true indeed, it's not just black people who benefit from welfare and socialism and stuff like that, but it's been, given to us, it seems like, especially.
Okay. Let's talk about this. And I'm talking to you as a mother and a black woman and all that other stuff, and an educated black woman at that. Why is it that when another race of cultures or culture comes into this country and they open a business, where is the first place they open their business with?
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you want better? So you're in, I don't know, China, okay? You're going to come to America, but you need to scope out a place.
Right.
And so you hear there's places where you can just go set up shop. And you don't even have to do any marketing or advertising. The only thing you really need to have is, you know, the alcohol, the hair, what we would call in our communities what? Nigga shit.
Nigga shit, right. And you can do well.
You can do well.
For a year or two and then get out of there.
And you ain't even got to treat them right.
Right.
You could disrespect them.
Right.
You can
and
sell
they
them.
will still buy your shop and all that other
You
stuff
can
like
sell
that.
them rotten milk, food, bad products, cuss them out. Hell, you know what? You can even choke them out. And you come back the next day and open up shop.
Right.
So where would you go? If you heard of a place like that?
I would go to that place.
Yes.
Right. So that's a good point. That's a good point. But but it goes back to my thing of everybody else could come here, move into our neighborhoods, open up these businesses. They don't live in our neighborhoods. They don't live in our communities. They live out in Orange County or in the affluent areas, but their business is right with us, or they live in like Woodcrest, Riverside.
Right.
The nice area of the city. And they make all their money here on our side, or they're renting to us. And we don't open up businesses in it. But try to do that in their neighborhood.
Shit.
I'm going to go to the Chinese neighborhood and open up my Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Number one, they won't patronize it.
Nope. They're going to do what they're not supposed to. They're supposed to go and do business with their own. But the beautiful thing about what we're speaking about, things are changing.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I did my show on this last week. The awakening of the sleeping giant. Black people are waking up, and that we are not putting up with that anymore. We saw Jay Morrison and T.I. and a couple of the people in Atlanta shut down a very popular restaurant called Houston's because they were disrespectful to them, and they said no more of our black dollars. And you're starting to see that pop up. In fact, I'm supposed to be going out to L.A. if my man will let me, and join a boycott of these liquor stores out there of Asians who are not treating black people right.
Koreans.
Koreans, okay. So we're starting to see black people wake up, and we're starting to take it back.
But here's my thing, since we're talking about, that's why I specific by saying Koreans, because you can't just group all Asians in there. Yeah, that's an issue. We have a problem there. But at the same time, overall, to me, it seems like we keep missing the big problem, which is the white man. Well,
I don't think we're missing it, because the white man often lets us know that I'm here and I'm going to do. Hell, I mean, we've seen videos after videos after videos of this. So this is not that we're making up, of white men saying that it is our duty to preserve what we've built. Whether it means to keep oppressing people, not really getting mad about police brutality, because we are the superior race. This is what they're saying. We're the superior race, and we're going to do whatever we got to do to stay that way.
Have you been seeing on YouTube and even on articles on the web where police chiefs and lieutenants, people that have been in law enforcement for years, are being fired for police brutality, racial connotations? They're finding out. Well, I've said this for a long time. The Ku Klux Klan, all they did was change their sheets in for police uniforms.
And they said they were going to do that.
Yeah. So a lot of these people are being exposed now that Trump is out. It's really exposing a lot of them because they think it's okay, to be like, fuck you and your rights and blah 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 blah. And now
Well, what it is, and this is just my opinion, and I think it's the opinion of a lot of people. The powers that be, or let's say white people in general, are starting to see what's going on. You mean to tell me for almost 500 years you do the worst things on the planet to a people, and you don't think at some point in time they're going to say, you know what, that's enough?
That's it.
I mean, and even if whatever system you believe in, whether it's the Bibles, the laws of the universe, karma, you're getting that back.
Right.
Your forefathers may not have gotten that 500 years ago, but you are still reaping the benefits from that. So it's not my saying. That's the way things work. You're going to get back what you've done to people. And so for these people who say, well, get over it, you weren't in slavery, you're still those people are benefiting from our people. They're bending over, picking the cotton and going through all. They're still benefiting.
Yeah, but you're not a slave.
I know I'm not a slave.
So what do you have to do with it, nigga?
Because you are benefiting because my people were a slave.
Okay, did you see that video? Did you share it with me, or did I share it with
Which
you?
one?
Where the one guy was talking. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the video right now.
For a $100 bill, the winner of this race will take this. It's a $100 bill. Before I say go, I'm going to make a couple statements. If those statements apply to you, I want you to take 2 steps forward. If those statements don't apply to you, I want you to stay right where you're at. Take 2 steps forward if both of your parents are still married. Take 2 steps forward if you grew up with a father figure in the home. Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a private education. Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a free tutor growing up. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to worry about your cell phone being shut off. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to help mom or dad with the bills. Take 2 steps forward if it wasn't because of your athletic ability, you don't have to pay for college. Take 2 steps forward if you never wondered where your next meal was going to come from. I want you guys up here in the front just to turn around and look. Every statement I've made has nothing to do with anything any of you have done. Has nothing to do with decisions you've made. Everything I have said has nothing to do with what you've done. We all know these people up here have a better opportunity to win this $100. Does that mean these people back here can't race? No. We would be foolish to not realize we've been given more opportunity. We don't want to recognize that we've been given a head start. But the reality is we have. Now, there's no excuse. They still got to run their race. You still got to run your race. But whoever wins this $100, I think it'd be extremely foolish of you not to utilize that and learn more about somebody else's story. Because the reality is, if this was a fair race and everybody was back on that line, I guarantee you some of these black dudes would smoke all of you. And it's only because you have this big of a head start that you're possibly going to win this race called life. That is a picture of life, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing you've done has put you in the lead that you're in right now. When I say go, on your mark, get set, go! If you didn't learn anything from this activity, you're a fool.
So there it is in a nutshell. It's the video where you see this guy and he's asking people to take 2 steps forward based on their benefits or whatever. And, you have people, and I think a lot of black people need to see that video because maybe we could save 1 or 2. Most of these niggas ain't gonna do nothing, but 1 or 2 of them. Most of those kids have an advantage that had nothing to do with the decisions they made.
Right. Well, again, I mean that's just the way racism works. But I think, and this is what, you know, on this show, Loving the Skin I'm In, and on my show, Demetra Kaye show, what we try to do is just bring awareness to that. I mean, white people, they're never, our problem is this, and you kind of alluded to this a minute ago. We keep trying to convince white people not to hate us.
Right.
Not to be racist toward us. Please treat us right. I'm to the point where I don't give a damn how you treat me, to be honest with you, because I'm not in the position to where their opinion of me matters. To where I need to. You think it hell? If I was out there, looking for a job and all that, I'd be like a lot of these black people. I can't say certain things on my Facebook. I can't do this. I'm not going to apologize about who I am. But the problem with us is a lot of times we are trying to appeal to white people. We're not bad, you guys.
Yeah, and we're not. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Right. So we need to stop focusing on them because we're not ever going to change their minds. But we can focus on our thing as far as group economics and doing all the stuff that we're supposed to be doing to be who we're supposed to be.
Right, and you talk about that on your show. So for those guys that are interested, at 3 o'clock on Facebook, look for Demetra Kaye. And if you've missed the show, she's in syndication and she's on YouTube, and you can see parts of the show on her YouTube channel, Demetra Kaye, as well there. Now, moving on, and I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of people, talk about it, and they send comments to me and say, "I hate that bitch," and "fuck her," and "niggerness."
Say it to my face.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and I know people don't like the language and stuff like that, but it is the internet. The government is trying to control the internet. As you know, YouTube is now taking down people's thing.
Yeah.
Facebook is censoring people's things.
But they'll let dead bodies swing. But black dead bodies swing.
Lynchings and such I think goes on. So you guys got to be cognizant of what's going on. And what we do is we try to put the message out. So moving on, what I want to talk about, which is very important, is the Kenneka Jenkins psyop. And a quick thing, I want you guys to take a look at this video. Because a lot of people say that the mother doesn't have any empathy and, she's probably in a conspiracy. And those are probably good ideas or opinions or whatever. There's no such thing as a bad opinion because opinions are just that, opinions.
Right.
So here's a video of Miss Jenkins. Now remember, this lady was 3 days removed from Martin, Miss Martin.
Jenkins.
Yeah, sorry. Don't talk about Miss Jenkins. Don't talk about Miss Jenkins. One of my favorite Emily Color characters, Benita Patrell. But Miss Martin, remember, she's 2 days removed from 2 or 3 days removed from cancer surgery, so she was recovering.
Right.
She had to get out of her bed, and you're going to see her actually run out of the hotel when the reality that her daughter was supposedly discovered in the refrigerator. So take a look at that, and we'll get right back. So there she is.
That's horrible. I mean, I
thought that was you for a second.
It would have been me.
But see, I knew it wasn't you because Miss Martin went through the turnstile. You would have gone through the window.
Through that damn window,
right?
Okay?
So, and I don't mean to laugh, but
that is painful to watch. Can you imagine?
As a mother, that is the reaction people have been wanting to see out of this lady.
And that was always my argument. You don't know what that lady has done or said, or and with the loss of her child.
Yeah. And so there it is in a nutshell. And it's so sad that we're getting all this stuff in pieces and trying to put it together. However, there has not been a death certificate been found on record.
So what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is, knock on wood, God forbid, you lost your mom. How long did it take for the death certificate to be generated?
We got it within a week that she passed.
Right, but when she was pronounced deceased, the doctor immediately, wrote the time of death and cause of death on the certificate, and it was filed. Correct.
Normally, that's how it works. Yeah,
within a week. So this young lady's been dead for a little over a month, and that's public record when somebody dies like that, and yet nobody can receive.
But they ruled what happened to her, right?
They ruled it's an accident, and that's why there's no arrest right now. People say, "Oh, this person should be arrested. This person should be arrested." You guys got to understand how the law works. If they ruled it, and the mother's not pushing the issue, if they rule it a accident, there's no arrest if it's an accident.
Well, that's what they did, right?
Right. It's been ruled an accident. The coroner. Now the mother can push to have an independent autopsy, which I don't know if she did or not, but we haven't heard anything.
Right.
The mother doesn't seem to be, she's out there protesting the hotel.
Still?
For whatever reasons. And, I mean, it's very compelling and it's heartbreaking. And, because a lot of people, YouTube's shutting down a lot of people are getting disinterested in the case. And, of course, when it comes to a young black girl, nobody gives a damn.
Which I'm surprised that it even went this far, to be honest with you.
Right. These activists, Jebediah, and all these guys that are, we're here for the people. Because you're not getting paid, you're not raising money, what happened? Why did you leave?
Oh, they're gone now?
Yeah, he went on to another
next
situation.
Yeah.
just nigga shit. Since everything's about making money. So that video showed, the lady's first reaction, and I do feel something is going on because the tapes have been edited. How the coroner could rule an accident and tapes are being edited, to me, that leaves the investigation wide open that this isn't an accident. Something's going on.
Okay, now.
Okay, so, but I don't want to keep talking about Kanika because that's still an ongoing chase. Shout out to a guy named Straight Drop and everybody else that is still on the case, pointing out irregularities in the videos and making you think about stuff. But I want to bring this up because there's a lot of young black people missing.
Right.
Okay? And the reason why I say there's something bigger to this going on, and me and you were talking about it earlier, is why this girl, and, what, did she have like some special blood venom that they had to have? And, here's a girl that, is in Chicago, and she's like any other young chick. I told you that she had gang affiliation ties, all this stuff. This is what I believe. This is my opinion, so fuck you if you don't like it. Our views just went up. But anyway, and I'm start tampering that. I just said F you, so I'm just dropping the F-bomb on that. But for the trollers out there. So she does have in my opinion, gang affiliation and ties. She goes by the name Martin. She goes by Jenkins. Who knows what's going on with all this confusion? Now, in some of her Facebook pages, she's flashing a lot of cash. And here's what I think. In my surmise of some of the stuff that's going on. I honestly believe, and I've been in a lot of hotels in my life because I used to fly with the Air Force and we used to stay in hotels. And you always have hookers and people that hang around the hotels and things like that. Why are these girls partying in a hotel room and you come from the south side of Chicago, there's not a lot of opportunities there, but yet you're a housekeeper at a hotel, but you're flashing wads of money?
Or because housekeepers make a lot of money?
Yeah. Okay, here's what I believe. And I believe the mother was, she's part of that lifestyle too, whatever. Hoeing is a part of the game. It is.
When you say the game?
The game is of survival.
Okay.
The game of survival in economically depressed areas. I have yet to go to Compton.
Really?
No. I'm talking about areas like Compton, south side of Chicago, St. Louis, Houston, all these depressed areas. They have here's the one thing they all have in common, no matter where you go. Drugs, prostitution, gangs. I mean, it's all the same narrative. So, okay, you're in Chicago. There's not a lot of opportunities for these young girls. They're affiliating themselves with gangsters, tattoos all over their fucking faces, no fucking future. But this is who they decide to have children with. It would not be beyond me that this girl was being introduced to the whole life by her friends.
Now, when you say the whole life, you're not just talking about some just regular everyday tricking. You're talking about like call girl type stuff.
Escorting.
Got it.
Escorting type stuff. Because, anybody can go out in the streets and sell pussy.
Right.
I mean, they can do that.
Well, not me. But
yeah, but I'm just saying, that's how easy it is. Okay, you're at a major hotel, by a major airport. To your truth, white men want black women.
Absolutely.
So here's a young 19-year-old, tight, titties are perky type girl. Kanika's a little bit more attractive than some of her friends that are in the picture. You can sell what? I mean, you see things on TV with back pages and all these girls are getting involved in that. The sex trafficking trade is really big, especially, out here. So it wouldn't be unfeasible that's why they were at the hotel, because remember, the mother had the ticket of her car being in the...
You got a ticket or something?
Yeah, well, the parking area on the 6th.
Okay.
But she went to the party on the 9th. There's a lot of things wrong with this. And if people would piece it together, but I'm just thinking, speculating, I think she was being introduced to that life and maybe she wasn't with it and something went terribly wrong and blah, 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 blah. Because how do 19-year-old girls, not just her friends, and just you go to all their different pages that are connected, they're all flashing wads of cash. Now, I've worked all my life. I've never flashed money like that.
Well, and then I would say, too, a lot of times when people cash, tax check or refund check or a big check or whatever. I don't know, it just becomes prominent in our society now. Both of our phones are ringing off the hook. Maybe that's like
that's the Young Turks song.
I was about to say, oh, is that what it is? I was about to say maybe it's a big time offer somewhere or something.
Yeah, well, you know.
But
we are willing to join your association.
But no, I just think, that's just kind of the day and age where people are flashy. They want to flash everything on the internet.
Here's the thing. That shows how ignorant they are, too. When you flash that money like that, the IRS is watching. And the government is watching.
I'm watching. You gotta find out where you at. Though.
Right. No. But you see what I'm saying? Because when you flash that cash and it isn't reflective on your taxes, they're going to come after you. So you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, you're in the south side of Chicago, you're in this low depressed area, but you're flashing significant amounts of cash like that. Where are you getting that cash?
That's a good question. I mean, and I know, now I don't know personally now. I heard, okay? There's this thing called seeking arrangements. Mm-hmm. And what it is sugar, that kind of stuff. Sugar daddy's looking for these young, what they call sugar babies, to take care of them, wine them, dine them, go on vacation.
Yeah, I think that's Deanna on the side.
My baby on there.
Couple of sides, Anyway.
Well, it'd been the last time you seen her on there. Right. You done seen her on the back of a milk carton after that, okay?
Right.
Have you seen this child? Right. So that's kind of a popular thing now with these young girls getting on these sites, dating these old cats. Now I ain't talking about dude that got a mechanic shop up the street.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this as a mother, and this is what I think. Would Kanika's mother be down with that kind of stuff? I think she would. Survival of the fittest.
Necessarily think it's just her mother. I think there's a lot of moms.
No, exactly. In that environment.
Like a girl should make your money.
Yeah, make your money.
I wouldn't be me though.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. My daughter did have that conversation with me because she has a friend who is stripping at a local strip club.
What's the name of the? What's her friend name?
Never
mind. No. I'll talk to you about that after.
And so she went to the strip club because the girl's like, I'm making all this money, and she's on Snapchat with all these dollar bills and all this stuff. And so she's telling her, I'm making $1,000 a night sometimes.
Bullshit.
And so she needed to go check it out.
Okay.
So she said she went, and these dudes are just
dollar bills.
Money. So
when I go to the strip club, I take $2 bills with me.
And they be like, get your ass
out of here. I take $2 bills, and I stick with the $2 bills. I go to the bank and get $2 bills.
Oh, $2 too?
Yeah, the $2 bills.
So they didn't know it was from you, huh? That's your signature? Look at you.
Makes me different.
You still giving away the money, regardless of what increments you giving it.
Oh, without a doubt. But the thing is, that's what
here's my $2 bill.
Yes, here you go.
So she was like, her friend was like, girl, yeah, you can do it too, and it's easy. And so she comes home, she kicks the idea to me. At first, I was like, nah, you don't want to do it. That's just a path for me.
Well, let me ask you this. When she came to you with that and said, hey, I went and saw my friend, were you shocked?
No.
Or were you just like, bitch, are you crazy?
It wasn't even that, because I know my child. Sure. I know that she wouldn't do that kind of thing.
No, but you were just like...
Yeah, but I get it. And this is true for a lot of people, especially with the inception of the internet. Mm-hmm. I said this not too long ago. The internet is the perfect... It's like a gift to people who like to brag.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you see people on the internet, they doing it big. They got these big old stats. And that's probably their rent money, but they're making you think that's,
Right, 50 cents. I ain't got no money.
Right, and they doing it, I'm at the club and popping bottles, and we going on vacation, they just in the backyard, but you don't know that.
Right.
And so, and you might be struggling.
Right.
And you're like, damn, it'd be nice if I could just come up like that. And so then, if you're a college girl, and your friend is, making all this money, a college girl who's kind of having some struggles sometimes financially,
sure.
And your friend says you got a nice rack, or whatever, come in here, you'll make some money. You think, okay, well, maybe. So then she comes to me and tells me the idea. Yeah, and I said, well, the path, as my dad always says, the path of least resistance is always going to take you nowhere you want to go. So I said, that's something.
Wisdom.
Yeah, it's something you need to think about. Yeah, that's quick money. I said, but I guarantee you right now, your friend is not just shaking her booty.
Yeah.
And because she got a little booty on top of that. So she's not just shaking her little booty and making all that money. I'm talking about little booty.
Yeah, no, I like little booty because all that big ass and stuff.
I'm not even talking about just a regular ass. It's a little booty.
Yeah, whenever I see a big ass and these girls that are enhancing their butts and stuff.
That's gross.
I wonder, how do they wipe their ass? And how much tissue do they use?
But that's a lot of ass.
I know.
Especially if you already got an ass and you add some more. That's a lot of ass. There's a lot of responsibility with all that ass.
And you guys have been blessed with your mother's genes.
So I can imagine having no more ass.
Yeah, exactly.
But... So I told her, I said, this girl is doing something more than, you know, a little strange for the change.
Absolutely.
She's back in that back room.
VIP.
But she's not telling you that. She's on the internet making you thinking, oh, I've got these $1,000
I just
a night.
showed up. I have no ass. I have a little booty, and these guys are just dropping money on me for no apparent
I know you're giving away $2 bills, but damn it, you gonna. I mean,
I want something for my $2 bills.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you giving that kind of money. So eventually she was like, yeah, you right, because she said she finally did go, and she was like, ew, that's not to do it, but she was.
Yeah, she
said
saw
that was
what
disgusting.
really happened.
Yeah, she's like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm gonna be struggling right here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's got to be more to it because nobody's just going to get, especially, okay, we used to have a club here called Deja Vu.